Hey, g'day. It's Redfire Keep Air here. Just going over my company 12 months in. Really don't play it that much anymore. Um, Somebody had asked for information about my Excel spreadsheet, so let's look at that. Um, Everything from S column over, don't really worry about. It applies to a sim I run with this, and doesn't have anything to do with the actual base game. Um, Let me go over each of my columns because somebody asked me to explain how I set this up, so I'm going to do that. This is just a plane number, and so what will happen is I'll start a new plane and I'll give it a number, sequential order. And let's say I sell that plane, no other plane ever gets the same number. Okay, and so that way just helps me organize things. You want to do it different? Go ahead. Managers, again, I have a sim I'm running with some people in it, and each one of them has a plane or more, so that's why you have that there. My planes, the ERJs and the B737s and the MAX 10s, anything above the DC9s here, they're run by other people. They may not be optimized, so just if you're looking at those and going, "Oh, I got good routes," and yeah, maybe not. Okay. Um, Again, go to my 7.5 month vid. That's the best routes for my ERJs of the B737s, and the Max 10s down here are fine. They're optimized, and same with the others, the A380s and stuff. They're good. But anything up here above the DC 910s, while they might be optimized, probably not. Hubs. Let me go through my hubs list. So I got Toronto and Atlanta. I strongly recommend both in North America. And again, if you hear me sounding congested, it's because I am. I've been sick for like a week. This is the best I've been in like over a week. So I don't recommend Los Angeles, and let's look at why. So I got my hubs here. Toronto, I find there's a lot of demand. Anything with a Z is Airbus A380, 800. Anything with A is Neo 800. Obviously, Airbus A380 is the best plane in the game, and so you want one with first class seats. Again, business class works as well. So somebody could argue, hey, there's a lot of business class in Los Angeles. I really don't know. Just first class is the best. And so if you can go all first class or as close to all first class as you can, you want that. That gives you the best rate of return. And so Toronto's pretty decent with that. Atlanta's amazing for that. Los Angeles and New York, JFK, which people recommend. I don't really find that good in terms of demand for A380, A380 um, first class demand, at least in easy mode. I figure hard mode would be even worse, but I don't know. I play in easy mode, so just so you know that too. So that's Los Angeles. Paris is okay. I'm gonna be getting a hub in Heathrow just to sort of compare it, because Paris again, as you can see, only got 14 flights out of there, so not exactly the best. Brasilia, I so lament getting. I should have gone Sao Paulo. Now maybe Sao Paulo's worse, but the problem with this is one, there's not a lot of A380 demand. Two, I went Max 10 B737 route. Somebody could argue, hey, I forget the other plane that people suggest is better. Eh, I got cash crunch because I didn't really invest in points at the beginning. I have now, but that's another story. Um, and so money was always an issue, and having to buy fuel every 20 flights you send out is annoying to me. So I still agree with my decision. Whatever, works best for me. Yippee yippee. But yeah, for Brasilia with the Max 10s and the B737s, getting to Africa is because you're here and not here. Um, 7,000's just outside, and so you couldn't do stopovers to African routes, which had a high demand, and so Not the best. Sao Paulo, maybe you have the same thing. I don't know. I haven't really tried it with Sao Paulo. I just know people suggested Brazilian Sao Paulo is a good route in South America, and Brasilia definitely not. Egypt, Cairo, I lament getting that one. Should have gone somewhere in UAE or maybe Istanbul, Turkey. Singapore's okay. China, Beijing is okay. Let me just again, so you can see what I have in there. Um, did I just click on that? Whatever. Um, Again, I have some decent demand out of there, but for the B737s, or no, sorry, I mean the A380s, not much, and that's your moneymaker. So not the best places. Caracas is amazing. Again, a lot of good routes out of there, including for A380s. I'm not sure why it's not mentioned on the boards. Moscow sucks. Don't go there. Um, Never consider there as a hub. Dulles sucks. Um, it's actually not bad for some of your smaller routes, but once you get to the A380s, no. Um, Sao Tome, I'm probably mispronouncing that, is actually not bad for Africa. Um, so I think it's a hidden gem in that there's a lot of A380 routes for first class demand. New Delhi, India, nope. Regret getting that one. Sydney, Australia. It's funny actually. A lot of people warned me about that. They're like, "Yeah, people suggest it, but there's not that much demand." And yeah, they were right. Denver's okay for the smaller routes, but again, for A380s, no. Where'd I end up? Denver. Phoenix, again, good for the smaller routes, not good for the A380s. Um, Houston, just no. And I know in real life these are great airports to fly out of, but in this game, no. Santiago, Chile for South America is actually really good. A lot of good routes out of there. Indianapolis, just no. That's one of the worst hubs I have, if not the worst. This place is okay for some of the smaller routes, but again, in hindsight, no. Chicago O'Hare, no. Again, good for some of the smaller routes, but even there, no. Bradford, I got because I had a lot of demand for those weekly bonus flights, but yeah, I barely log in now, so no. New York JFK, again, not a lot of demand for the A380 first class seats um, in terms of optimum demand. So no. Sarnia, again, the only reason I have that is I had um, demand for the weekly things there. So Detroit, what a waste. Only flights I have out of there now are freight flights, which, again, cargo, don't invest in that either. That's a waste. Guangzhou, just outside of Hong Kong, meh. Bad investment there. Aruba, no. Especially with me having Venezuela, Caracas, I should have never gotten that. Marshall Islands for A380s is actually pretty good. The only issue with this one is because it's so far from everything, you're not really going to have demand for the smaller routes. Um, so I wouldn't start with that, but definitely it's some place that you may want to consider once you start expanding and you get your A380s. Paraguay's okay. Um, a lot of demand for A380s, so yeah. So that's my hubs. And then I don't even know what this. Oh yeah, these are former routes or whatever, and my best rate of return. I'll just go through that quickly. I probably should go down each one. This is just me ranking planes in terms of what was the best at that point in time. Max 10 route, CRJ route, ERJ route, B737 route, that sort of thing. And so I have a historical basis, so I could go back and look and go, okay, what route was good, what wasn't in terms of demand. Of course, the older you go, the less information I knew. Like I used to think business class was the best. Oops. So, okay, so destinations pretty self-explanatory. Flights over a 10-hour period. It's really important to note because here Now, again, if you're not on all the time, or if you don't have your phone set up to ding you when a plane comes in at the beginning, um, then who cares, really? If you're logging in once, twice a day, or less, yeah, who cares about this? But if you're on this 24/7, or maybe not 24/7 because you got to sleep and whatnot, you have your phone on to just sort of ding and then you send it, then really good information because take for instance, let's look at a route. This one here, 73,000 rate of return. So that's how much money I make per flight. Okay, based on a whole number of factors I'll explain later. So that's better than the 60,000, right? No. Why? Well, this one flies 7 times. And so if you take out your trusty calculator, 7 times 73, that's gives me a rough amount of 511,000 um, that I make over a 10-hour period. Let's say that's my day. Okay. Here I'm making 60,000, but I'm flying 14 times a day, approximately. Okay, that's 840. So even though on one flight this makes less, overall it makes more. And so doing a little calculation like this is good to know. And so I have a little formula in here. If you can't understand it, you really need to do your own because this is very complex. Basically, it looks at the hours, the minutes, the seconds, and it calculates that, and then it sort of puts the flight time. And so if I have one flight here, it'll calculate that. That'll be 1 hour and 64% of a second hour. Okay. And then what I want is, okay, over 10, that's when I stop. Okay. And so at 6 flights, I'm under 10. At 7 flights, I'm over. And again, you need to calculate this based on how you run your airline. Not everybody's going to be the same, but this is how I calculate mine. Okay. In terms of my rate of return, I take my gross profit, which again, you go into your plane. So let's go into, let's choose another plane. Let's go in this guy here. Nah, that guy doesn't make any money. Sure, let's go into this one, okay? So I go to my plane. I'll choose whatever is my best rate of return over 20 flights. And usually I'll stick that in now. Let's see, 167. Where is that? Here. Oops. So best rate of return is 84,460. Now this is run by another owner. I have another sim, so normally I would automatically update this. So if I find something higher than 84,460, I would update this, but they need to ask. Now if they're looking at this video and going, hey, yeah, can you update it? I will. But if not, although in this case, yeah, they haven't made 84 in a while. I don't know why that is. A lot of times I'll run it where the planes are, could be this percentage, but the planes are where I don't have enough carbon credits, and so I'll still fly them anyways because I just want to get my planes out when I log in. I hate having to buy fuel every 4 flights or whatever it is, so that's annoying to me. So that might be why it's lower than it actually is. But at some point, their gross profit was 84,460. Their fuel used per flight is 9,391. And so I'll take that and I'll subtract this. Now, this fuel cost is the fuel and how much it costs, which I calculate it based on the most expensive it'll ever be. 2,500, which I know sometimes it's less, but I want to make sure every flight I make a profit. If I put down, hey, I'm only going to buy it at 1,000, so I just put this at times 1, or maybe the most I'll buy it at is 1,100, so the most I'll put it at is 1.1, and then I end up buying at 1.2, I might be losing money on that. So I always calculate it at my worst rate of return, and then that way, if I'm making money, I know it's good, and if I'm doing this, which you do with the G7500s at certain routes, but that helps your alliance. That's another thing. Then yeah, okay. And so this tells me, am I making money or not? Okay. Um, so yeah. So this is the 2,500 plus the 200 for carbon credits, which is the most you pay for that. And so that's how I calculate that. And somebody could argue, well, you know what? The most I'll ever pay is 2,000. I'll actually wait. Okay, then put it at two. I don't agree with that because time is a huge factor in business. Um, for me, I'm logging in. I'm able to send them. They're not ready. Um, that's a problem. Um, so, but again, each to their own. I really don't play this much anymore. So if you want to debate me on it, you win. I don't care. so, so again, that's the gas. That's the gross product. That's the distance in kilometers. So this guy has a route of 1,000 plus kilometers. This is by seating, so he has 6 first class, 41 business, 22 coach. Um, really should have 40 first class, but possibly he doesn't have enough demand for that, which really means he should change his route if that's the case, but he's running it. And then from here, this is first class demand. Now, some people have asked for what's my first class um, business and coach demand, and so I've included that. And so you'll see 94, 587, 893, and I've just included that. And you might be like, well, how do you put that all on one sheet? Well, it's really simple. The first plane I buy, I put that info, then the second, then the third. And so if you look at my videos, you'll see I don't have 393 planes. My 4-month video, and I probably have like, I don't know, 130, I don't even know. Okay. And then notes, this is just if my planes are optimized, seats are optimized, if it's a cargo plane, whatever, yeah. So that's it. These other sections, these are just for the companies in the sim that don't really apply to you. And this is just information on the planes, where to sell planes at 90%, because what's the point of selling it at 89% when you could sell it at 90, so I include that. My calculations, DC9 versus ERJs. I'm not convinced DC9s are the best based on how I play in easy mode. I know they're really good, and I know for a lot of people they work the best, but certain considerations where they're not. But again, bought some more DC9s because, well, I got nothing better to do, and so I'm going to experiment some more. Maybe, if I keep playing this, so. And, yeah, 800 versus 900. 800's good, 900's better, but the problem is, once you get enough money to buy a 900, just go for the A380 800, which is the best plane. So, but anyhow, I've yapped too long. If this is really long, I apologize. I'm not feeling the best, not 100%. I have to cough every so often. So hopefully this helped you with the Excel spreadsheets. And thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you check out my next video. Later.